So I'm going to describe how to get data out of SurveyMonkey and into SPSS, and then start working on the data in SPSS. There'll be lots of bits and pieces to contend with, and you probably want to take this video step by step, and from time to time you might stop and rewind. You'll work it out, I'm sure you will. I'm going to grab some data out of the Perception of Grand Tour, which was a survey run quite some time ago, which had a total of 650 responses. As you can see here, 650. But I'm going to go straight into results analysis. I just want to show you how to export all response data in SPSS format. So you just click on SPSS format, and you might want to adjust the name if you're doing multiple exports at any one time. But you just click on export, and you can see I've already done it. You can see it here, but it creates a zip file, which when it's done, you can do a download, just like I'm doing with this one. As I said, I've already done it for the sake of convenience. I'm just going to now go into SPSS, and I'm assuming for a moment you have SPSS already running. I'm using a Mac version, but I don't think the windows will be all that different. We'll leave this and take a look. Some data fields you'll recognize, and some are added by SurveyMonkey as it goes along, and some of these we're just going to ignore, like the IP address from which the survey was answered and the start and end date. This is nice if you want to work out how long does it really take. You know, this particular respondent took from 11:48 to 11:54, so spent some 6 minutes answering it. Here's someone who did it in 8 minutes. This one spent 1 minute. That's the same person. See, same IP address, so something going on. Anyway, that's not for now. I'm just sliding sideways, and you can see all sorts of questions. The first thing to do when you're faced with something like this is a quick sort of descriptive stats on this, which in SPSS is a case of analyze and do descriptive stats, and frequencies is probably as good a place to start as anywhere. Now, I'm not going to at this moment go through the frequencies. What I actually want to show you is how you clean up some of the import so that you get more sensible answers when you do the frequency. For example, we have a number of questions in this survey where people can tick all the boxes that apply. Alright, well, SPSS doesn't know that they are related, so you have to tell it, and we do that in the analyze multiple response defining variable sets. I'll get to that in a minute, because before you do, you might actually clean this up a bit. Let's go and have a look at the variable view instead of the data view, and I've already started on this particular one. See, when you get tables and they're all labeled in your perception which fields of minor stats should be developed according to your program, that's going to make it really hard to interpret what's going on. So one of the first things I do when I get these things in is to actually redefine these with a label that makes sense. Well, the label is actually already here under the values column. So in this case, politics and policy making. So you just go and change it. I'm sure there is a way of importing these, and when you or I find out, then I'd love to hear about it, and we'll improve this particular this particular tutorial to facilitate that. So, you know, you go along and you change all these. I'm not going to do that right now in front of your nose, but you see what's required. I mean, there is lots of multiple choice answers. See, multiple answers possible. You're really going to have to, more locations, lower prices, organization from a home university, you're going to have to transfer these labels to the question in effect. I'll have a look at some stage whether I can find something in SurveyMonkey to work that a little better. The other point to note here is that we've got 1 in front of this in terms of values. In fact, the other value that's not shown here is 0. Either they've ticked a box, in which case it gets a value 1, or they haven't ticked it, in which case it gets the value 0. Okay, so let's look at these data sets. So we're going to analyze multiple response. Now I've already created some, and you can see that here. Let me bring that to the middle. I've got a number of multiple response sets, so let's just for a moment, I'll push this, no, I'll have to close it and take one that I've already done so you can see what's going on. By the way, see all the answers to question 18, you can see it here, question 18, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. I suggest, by the way, that before you do all this, it's handy to have a printout of all the questions and apply these labels, these names to the printed version. That makes looking at it a whole lot easier. But let me just take one in particular here. Question 18. Question 18 consisted of which minor did you do during your grand tour? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different answers. And of course we want to know what the distribution of participation is in these particular minors. Now, if we go to analyze and to the define variable sets, right, bring it up to the middle, this is about which minor. Here they are. Okay, there are all the minors they could have ticked, right? They've been assembled by selecting them out of this list. I've done that before, so you just go click, click, and add it to the list, like so. Of course, in this case I don't want it there, but that makes up one set. They're dichotomies because there's 2 values, 1 and 0. You got to give it some sensible name without spaces and then a good label so you can recognize it later on. When you've done all that, this button will be blackened and you press add and it's here in the list. Okay, what can you do once you've got that? Well, I'll say okay to discard because I haven't done anything. What you can do is, in the analysis now, is create a multiple response frequencies, for example. Let's take a look at that. Now I'm going to throw all these out. Which minor taken? Well, that's the one I'm going to leave in, so I'll take these 2 out, press the shift key and go click, gone. And I want to have a table for this. Okay, I just click on OK. The output window of SPSS opens up. You can see here a case summary. There were 103 answers valid. It says missing 547. In this particular survey we have a large number of students who hadn't done the Grand Tour yet, so clearly they shouldn't be there. In that sense, you know, there were 650 respondents. This isn't going to tell you a whole lot. You would need to look into the survey and see that, and I think it's about 145 or something have, I think here's the number there, 145 had done it, so 103 out of 145 have ticked these minors. It could just be, of course, that some of the others have done regular offering, so I'm still not saying that people haven't completed it properly. It's a complex survey. In any case, here you see in a tabular form what the responses were. So we have a total of 121 ticks. That's not, see, we had 103 persons answering it, but they in total put 121 ticks. Clearly some people did more than one minor. Perfectly reasonable. And so this one will add up to 100% because it shows the proportion of all ticks that were set, whereas this one is on the basis of the number of cases, the number of people that filled it in, and because they can set more than one tick and do more than one minor, this will be greater than 100%. Now, don't worry so much about it. You can in SPSS do a graph of this. I prefer to do one with Excel because it results in a better quality graph. So right click, export or copy. Right. Copy, not right click, just copy. Click and copy. I've copied it. Then I go to Excel. It should be open somewhere. Here it is. Oh, it's not popping up. Then this will make it pop up. You can already see that I've cheated. I've already done all this, but I can just import, and here is the particular import. Let me bring it to the middle. You can see here I had this table imported by a simple paste, and next I've highlighted the labels and the percentages and said turn it into a pie chart and give that chart its own sheet. And then with a bit of messing around, such as doing data labels, when it's such a big pie chart, that's handy. I mean, I could right click, format data labels, take out the name, because I do have a legend here, so just to show you, I take out the category name, click OK. Now only the percentages are left. Some people find that not even interesting. It's up to you. When it's this big, it's nice to format data labels, add a category name, say OK, and maybe just get rid of this thing. Make it all nice and neat. So it's very easy to read. And you can see that the spa, wellness and Thai holistic management was the most popular one. If you really want to, you can of course go in the data and sort this according to these percentages from high to low. Then it'll present the pie chart with the fattest segments first going to the thinner ones. That's a way of doing it. Whatever you like. Anyway, we can discuss that sort of thing at some other time. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.